start of week 3. I'm 5,000 words behind. It's day 14. I'm 5,000 words behind goal. Now, I've been this far behind before. I've never been this far behind with a baby. Last week was awful, absolutely awful. The one positive thing about this whole thing, even though I'm obviously very behind and I have a lot to catch up on, I have written every day. Some of it has been really bad, and some of it has required me to go in and rewrite it and only get like 5 words. I think one of my days I had 5 words. But I worked on my book that day. The thing with, I know that's not what you're supposed to do with Nano. You're supposed to just write the 50,000 words as they are and then go back and fix it later. My brain does not work that way. If I have a garbage, like a really garbage, what I've written, I cannot, it needs to be fixed or it's gonna nag at me and I'm not gonna be able to do anything more. And so having that really bad chapter a while back, having no sleep, has really, really set me back. And so I'm hoping that this week, I've been this far behind before, I'm hoping this week I can get some better words in. I don't know if I'll make all the way up. I definitely will not make up that single 5,000 words in a day. But I know I've got the chance and the possibility and the power within me to make up those 5,000 words this week. And so I'm really hoping. I'm still running on no sleep, but I am just gonna sit down and I am just gonna get some stuff done today. And I'm really hoping that I could have a good report at the end of today. All right, first break, just over 800 words, which isn't that bad. I would have loved more, obviously, but I'm writing a flashback scene, which kind of requires me, this is like the one timeline that I haven't written out. I know it, but I got to a point where I was like, wait, what? I thought maybe I mixed up a couple of my scenes and when certain things happened. And because it's kind of, when these flashback scenes happen, it's right before something big is going to happen in the book, and it's going to obviously relate to what is happening in the book. So because this flashback scene should technically happen before a different flashback scene that I've already written that comes earlier, because it related to a scene that needed to come earlier in the book, I got a little hesitant. I was like, wait, I think I did something wrong. And so I did have to go back and kind of make sure that I had it done correctly, and if I had it in the right order, and make sure that the order of things that I had, and I should probably write down these flashback scenes. So if you guys are familiar with the first book, The Curse of Broken Shadows, I knew all of the history, but I have a whiteboard that has all of my everything that needs to happen in timeline order for my 3 assassins. And I know the history that happens between the other 2 characters, Kaysen and Cyril, but I didn't write it down. And so because this book is focusing more on Kaysen and Cyril's sort of history together and the sort of things that relate to them and their childhood and growing up together, well, not together, but their friendship and how they've bonded, I probably should have written it down, but I know that it's going to take a lot of unnecessary time because I do know it in my head. So this will probably be a non-nano project that I do of writing down that timeline. But for those of you familiar with the first book, I had that whole timeline figured out and everything. And because those stories were just so much fun, I ended up writing the prequel book that does introduce a lot of characters that will make appearances later, but it's not really all that necessary. It's just kind of an additional fun thing to have and to kind of get into characters' heads a little bit more, but it did not follow Kaysen and Cyril. And so a lot of these flashback scenes now will follow those two characters. And it's been a lot of fun writing those because I know them and just finally putting the words to what's happening. But it's definitely a challenge because I don't have it written down. And so I have to make sure, because these flashback scenes are happening in different order than what the timeline is. And, you know, one flashback scene is relevant to an earlier chapter versus the one that's happening later. And so I just kind of have to like keep my head on straight, and it's a little bit difficult, but I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go get lunch. It's a little early, but she's fed, she's happy, and so I'm gonna take advantage of the good mood. Words. I'm calling that a win. I started the next chapter, which is always the hardest part for me. So I'm on an upswing. It was a very good day. I cannot see straight any longer. And so I'm gonna have to call it a day. I might be able to get something done a little bit later today, but we'll see. Otherwise, I'm heading out of today feeling like I've done something good. And I've made some progress, and I've made up some of those missed words from last week. So things are looking up. Hopefully day 2 of this week will go better. I've been up since like 1:30. This day's gonna be rough. All right, day 17. Are you guys ready for my word count yesterday? It was 0 words. So it broke my streak, which in the past, that would have broken me. I would have been so frustrated and so disappointed in myself, but I'm gonna give you guys some real talk. There are more important things than writing 50,000 words and writing every single day or hitting that word count every single day. There are more important things than words. And in the past, that would have driven me nuts. I would have felt disappointed in myself. I would have been frustrated. I would have felt like I failed. But in the end, it's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. And there are a lot more important things, like taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, taking care of another human being, taking care of animals, taking care of whatever. There are a lot more important things than hitting 1667 or 50,000 words or writing every single day. Yes, it's nice. Yes, the habit helps. But there are going to be rough days and there are going to be rough weeks. And this is very likely a nano that I will not actually win. And I am okay with that. And I think coming to terms with that and accepting that, hey, I took on this challenge. It's significantly more of a challenge than it has been for me in the past, but I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with the progress that I've been making. And I'm okay with the fact that I'm not going to hit all of those goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that I've failed. It just means that I didn't write yesterday. And that's it. And that's all that matters is I've been making progress. I'm still thinking about my story. I'm still working on it. I've not given up. This little setback has not completely derailed my story. It is just a day that I didn't write, and there are a lot worse things. It's very likely I won't get any words today either, and that's okay. Sleep is more important. Taking care of a baby is more important. Taking care of myself is more important, and I'm gonna be okay with that. It's been a really rough week, and I've reached the point where there's definitely no way, even if I were to somehow miraculously have really great writing days, it's pretty clear I'm not going to win this year, and that's okay. I think it has taken me a long time to get to this point of being okay with not having my stuff together and just kind of being all over the place. But that's the nature, and it's okay because I've still gotten really good words in. I'm not going to win, but it doesn't mean that I'm giving up. I'm still going to work to write. I'm still going to make progress on this story. I'm already, 20,000 words ahead of where I started this month. And so that's already an accomplishment. And so I'm quite proud of that still, especially managing a baby for the first time, doing Nano, and everything's going to be okay. It is still a little bit frustrating to know that I went into this. I had this great idea to do this weekly vlog and everything. And I was like, oh yes, I'm going to win. I'm going to, show everybody my process and everything. And it just tanked, and it's still kind of fun, but that's real life, and showing you guys that you don't have to have everything together and you don't have to get 50,000 words. I didn't win the 50,000 words, whatever certificate, or I'm not going to most likely, but the fact that I'm still, 20,000 words ahead, I still have a week and a half left of Nano, and I know I'm still going to get words in, and it's not 50,000, but it's still more words than I started this month with. And it's a really good motivation to kind of have this going in. I went in, I tried to write daily. It didn't necessarily work out. I tried to hit the 1667 every day. That didn't work out either, but having those goals was really good for me to kind of get back into the flow of things after having Violet, and just kind of having that sort of knowledge that I went into this, I tried it, and no, it didn't work out, but I still have half a month left. I still have a lot of words to make up, and I'm still making progress on this story. And in the end, that's what matters to me, is that I am still making progress towards the end of this book.